Story time. So listen, most of you guys know that I'm a therapist, which means that I went to school a lot of schooling, right? But in reality, I dropped out of high school and I have a very limited formal education. And when I talk about formal education, I mean K through 12. And the reason is because I was actually raised in a high controlled religious cult that discouraged higher education. So I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. My grandmother became a Jehovah's Witness in 1972. I was two at the time, and all of her children converted. My mother was the last to convert, but my grandmother basically raised me. So I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, and um, because it's such a it's a cult basically, and there's a lot of mind control. So up until the age of maybe 10 or 11, I was really subscribed to the programming that the cult, was feeding us, which meant I grew up not celebrating any birthdays, not celebrating any holidays, and again, education was not emphasized. So there was no hopes of further education, going to college. I wasn't allowed to participate in extracurricular activities such as, like, I would have loved to have played, like, I'm tall, played basketball or cheerleading or something, but that was never in the cards. So your girl turns 12, 13, and a bitch is pretty. The girls grow, my body starts developing, and I discover boys. And again, there was no emphasis on religion, on education and being a Jehovah's Witness. It was like basically you were supposed to prepare for the end of the world and go out and preach door to door until whenever. So long story short is I always defied the odds. I was never about that life, and I ended up getting pregnant at 16. So remember, I discovered boys probably in 7th grade, started fucking off in school, just didn't care. And again, there was no emphasis. My mother wasn't like, this is what you need to do in order to go to college. I would get consequence, but there was no emphasis. So again, got pregnant at 16, dropped out of high school, right? I am a rebel. And I decided that I was going to do everything I wasn't supposed to do as a Jehovah's Witness, having the baby, premarital sex, and got my GED, and then continue to go to school, go to college, and, got additional degrees. But I will be having conversations with my husband about, like, history and shit that you learned, like, in school, and I know nothing about it because, again, I was raised in a high controlled religious organization that's a cult. And the great thing is in my clinical work as a therapist, I work with people who are in the process of leaving the organization or have left the organization or are fading. And the awesome thing is that I have a lot of inside knowledge. But that is my story. And sometimes I dream about, like, have nightmares that somebody's going to tell me, you didn't graduate high school, come back. But I got my GED and I got an advanced master's from a pretty dope college. Go UConn. Go UConn.